everyone, and welcome to Mum's the Word, a brand new TV talk show brought to you by, well, mums. I'm Hayley, and I'll be joined today by Hannah Smith, Lauren Hampshire and Anam Zanam. Each week we'll be joined by different mums where we'll be discussing different topics surrounding parenting. But today we're going to be talking about breastfeeding. And to kick us off, we have a very talented, the very funny comic, Rialina.
Hi, I'm Rialina. I'm a mum. And I remember when Posh and Bex named their kid Brooklyn after the circumstances of his birth, I thought, ooh, that's really cute. I want to do that with mine. So I have 3 kids, Air, Johnny Split, and Spare Kidney. Johnny's my favorite. I remember I was really worried about having kids because I didn't really like kids. And now that I have my own, I still don't. I mean, kids suck. Let's be honest. I mean, they're so demanding. They can't do anything by themselves unless you show them how first. And what's with all the leaking? They're like popcorn machines of body fluid, just, different orifices spouting different biohazards at different times. Like, where's all this coming from? I don't remember feeding you enough for all of this. I don't even remember feeding you. Is this where the inside of the sofa cushion went? Because they're the same color. Ooh, I wonder what color it would be if I fed you absinthe. No, okay. People often don't believe that I've had 3 kids because they look at me and they're like, what did you do with all the baby weight? And I'm like, are you kidding? I had 3 kids. I don't remember the last time I had a hot meal. I mean, I cook a hot meal. I cook it every single day. I cook mine when I cook theirs. And then I sit at the table and I cut everyone else's food up into atom-sized little chicken pieces. By the time I get round to mine, it's cold. All right? Or it's been looted by my husband who's like, oh, honey, were you planning on eating that? Oh, no, that's fine. I'd much rather have the ketchup-drowned regurgitation of my offspring. No, that's fine. No. And if you were wondering, I'm also not planning on sleeping tonight, and I definitely don't miss my tits. People think that when you've had kids that you're therefore fine with everyone else's kids, which is so far from the truth. As soon as you have kids, you're actually programmed to hate everybody else's offspring. It's a rule, especially when they're good at something, you know what I mean? Like, you were just a concert pianist and only 8 years old. Oh, well, mine has friends. The worst is when you're like on a plane, because I'm a mother, like, oh, you're a mom. You don't mind sitting next to the crying baby. Why do you think I'm on a plane alone for 8 hours? Because my kid wouldn't stop crying, and this is how far I have to go to get that noise out of my head. The thing is about motherhood is that, of course, we love our children. Of course, we love our children, but we're not mothers when we're not with our kids. Like, if I go out shopping, I'm not a parent. I am a woman on a mission, okay? I've got 4 hours while they're at school, and I got stuff to get done. Like Mission Impossible. The impossible being fitting me into a size 8 again. And the thing that gets me the most when I'm out and about, and I say this as a mother, is prams. Prams are an absolute terror when you're out and about. I think we need to have a lane system on the pavement just like they have on the street. A window shopping lane, a tourist lane, a get out of my way, I live here lane. If your pram crosses the line into another lane, that's it. 3 points on your pram license. You get 6 points, kid learns to walk. Sorry.
Thank you so much.
That was fantastic. That was brilliant, Ria. Thanks very much. We'll be catching up with you later in the show. But for now, give it that one more time for Rialina. Okay, so I'm joined by our first guest. That's the founder of the Milkshake Tea company, Lauren Hampshire.
Hi.
Hi, Lauren. It's lovely to meet you.
It's lovely to be here.
So, can you tell me a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your company and where it all came from?
Yeah, well, I'm Lauren and I'm a mum of 2. I have 2 little girls, a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. And I'm also the owner of the Milkshake Tea company. And basically, the Milkshake Tea isn't a drink. It's something that I'm wearing right now. It's a t-shirt that you can pull down, zips at the side, pull across and feed really easily. And I'm wearing a totally wrong coloured bra, white with black over it, but the joys of being a mum, matching underwear doesn't happen anymore.
So you're not just a businesswoman, you have got a bit of a social media following, so we're going to have a little look at one of your YouTube clips.
Oh, okay.
We've created
the Milky Tea, which is a breastfeeding t-shirt with hidden zips down the side, which you can pull down and pull across to easily and discreetly feed your baby. I came up with the idea 2 years ago after I had my second daughter and really struggled to find anything to breastfeed in. And I was really shocked that in 2016 there was still so little that existed to help mums breastfeed. I want to really continue to expand and grow our business and help mums to feel good about themselves after they've had a baby, but also be able to breastfeed easily.
Wow, that's brilliant. You've built an incredible brand, and it's a brilliant idea. So can you just tell me what kind of feedback you've had from your customers?
Well, we've had some really lovely feedback. We've only been going for about a year. And I designed it because I really struggled to find anything to wear myself when I was breastfeeding, especially out and about in public. So I've had some really lovely messages from mums who have sent me photos of them wearing our t-shirts and feeding in our t-shirts on trains, on planes, at rugby matches, different, like when they're out and about. I had one girl message me and say that she was able to breastfeed in front of her boss when she had that, going back to work day. And she said her boss didn't even know that she was feeding. And she said it was brilliant to be able to do that,
because it's such a logistical thing, isn't it? Like which top you're going to wear. Every outfit is about how am I going to be able to feed this baby, comfortably, discreetly, or however you want to do it. But this is brilliant.
Well, I wanted something that you didn't have to pull up and show your tummy, because I think after having a baby, most of us don't really want to flash our mum tums.
Yeah.
And also, I didn't want you have to pull it down, because a lot of the tops I had when I was feeding originally, I had to kind of pull it down. I still felt I was like, here are my boobs. And I felt a little bit uncomfortable just kind of whipping them out. So
this is one of your t-shirts. Speaking about how they work. So what happens is I put this on.
Yeah.
And then when I want to feed, I just undo, zip, and just
pull it across. So there's one on either side, so you can feed over
that's brilliant.
So we've had a lot of twin mums who've bought them because I think twin breastfeeding, anyone that does twin breastfeeding is amazing in my eyes. But I think it can be even harder to find things that you can wear, because if you're trying to just do one at a time, that's easy enough, but it means you're spending all your day just feeding. So it's much easier to be able to do both at the same time. Yeah. And with our tops, you can just take the zips down and feed them both.
You've thought of everything. So I'd like to know, being a working mother, did you face any difficulties in getting this all up and running? So obviously you're really busy, you've got your kids to look after, you're launching a business, you're inventing these amazing t-shirts. What kind of difficulties did you face?
Well, I had the idea of these t-shirts when my daughter was 2 weeks old, and she hated being covered by anything like a blanket or a breastfeeding apron, so it made me even more feel like I need something else that I can use to breastfeed in. But I was also a complete sleep-deprived mess, and I hadn't really planned on being a businesswoman. I just had an idea of something that I first of all wanted to help me in my breastfeeding journey, and then I thought that it could also help lots of other mums. But it took 2 years to go from idea stage and ordering my first t-shirt pattern and creating the first prototype. It took 2 years to go from that to actually launching.
Well, I
was just so tired.
I think it's brilliant.
Thank you.
I wish that there was something like this when I had my babies and they were little. Okay. I think it's brilliant for everyday mums. It's really beneficial. So after all this breast talk, let's have a quick look at some of the benefits of breast milk.
What are the advantages of breast milk, you ask? Well, breast milk contains all of the essential nutrients such as water, fatty acids and carbohydrates. These cannot be replaced by baby formulas. Breast milk also contains antimicrobial factors, digestive enzymes and hormones which are important for passive protection against infections and immune-mediated diseases. Breastfeeding can reduce the risk of osteoporosis, breast and ovarian cancer, as well as heart disease and obesity for the mum. Last but not least, it develops a beautiful bond between the baby and the mum.
So there are some of the benefits of breast milk. There are some really interesting facts in there that I had no idea about. But now joining us on the sofa, we have mums Hannah and Anna. Ladies, how are you doing today?
Yeah, good, very good.
Really good, happy to be here.
So you tell us a little bit about yourselves.
My name is Anam Zaman and I have 4 children, 2 girls and 2 boys.
And are you a vlogger? Is
Yeah.
that right thinking that?
YouTuber.
Oh, cool. And Hannah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Hannah, I'm a working mum of 3. I've got a daughter, Ariana, who's 3 years old, and I've got twin boys, Levi and Leon, who are 1.5.
And have either of you breastfed?
I did. So Ariana was breastfed for, I think, 14 months in total. I think firstly because I think breastfeeding is amazing, so many nutrients and so many advantages, but also because she didn't actually like the bottle. And then with the twins, I also breastfed them both, sometimes at the same time.
So you were just talking about this with the t-shirt, we've got access everywhere.
Absolutely, yes. I think with the twins, I couldn't even wear anything. I had to literally just be like this with them. So I think something like this t-shirt is amazing and something I would have really
I do respect you for breastfeeding twins, by the way. Wow.
Now, how long did you breastfeed for?
My all children, I feed to my all children, but very short time. 2 months, 3 months, and I give to top feed as well because I do lots of work, to housework and outside work and children works. So even my 9 months baby, he's not drinking now anymore my breastfeeding because my duty is very tough for all other children.
Well, 4 of them.
Yeah.
Twins, 4 of them. I don't know how you're getting on. Okay, well, it's interesting to hear what you all had to think. So let's have a look at what the people of Leicester Square had to say.
How do you feel about public breastfeeding?
Absolutely fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Breastfeeding, because the natural thing, there's nothing wrong about it. It's organic. Like you have to eat, so therefore you have a sandwich. A baby doesn't have that choice.
Just felt it was better for them. Give them the nutrients from me, what they should be having, really.
Breastfeeding.
Baby's got a drink. I do it myself. No, there's nothing wrong with it. Baby's got to feed the baby. Got to feed the baby. As long as you do it discreetly, don't just drop the boob out in the middle of nowhere, but do it discreetly. And nothing wrong with it.
He doesn't understand. But I think he agrees with public breastfeeding, guys.
So to everyone watching, what did you make of that? We want to hear from you at home, so please join in the conversation. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook and let us know what you think. Rita, welcome to Sofa. So, what did we think about that? There was a guy at the end who thought that we should feed, but feed discreetly. What are your thoughts on that?
That's more about him, isn't it? You know, I would say whip him out. I think whip him out no matter whether you're breastfeeding or not, but apparently society has a different...
I think with me, I used to just whip him out, like she said, and I didn't really get members of the public saying anything. Normally it would be if I was with a friend, they'd be like, oh, could you just like tuck that away? So I think it's quite interesting that I think some people have bold views, but I think when it's actually happening, they're quite quiet about it.
So on that, we've got a call for a voicemail from a caller. Let's just have a listen and see what he's got to think.
Breastfeeding in public, like if you want to give your baby milk, like by all means do it, but not in front of me. Like there's so much out there now that lets them extract the milk from home, like from the nipples, and the baby can have it whenever. I don't think we should have to watch women getting her breasts out whenever, wherever. It's not really what everyone wants to see.
So he clearly has a very strong opinion. I mean...
Well, what I would like to say to that is my second daughter would not take a bottle. So actually my first daughter, I did predominantly breastfeed, but I did also top up with a bottle. But with my second daughter, she totally refused a bottle, and you were saying your first daughter was the same, and therefore I didn't have an option of a bottle. Not that I actually particularly, wanted to or felt that I should have to have give them a bottle in public or anything like that. But, she wouldn't have. So therefore, what does that man say? What should I have done? Just let my baby starve?
I mean, if you were in that situation, Ria, and you were in a restaurant and somebody came up and gave you that kind of talk, I mean, how would you respond?
Well, he said not in front of me, and to be honest, I wouldn't want to breastfeed in front of him either. I think he needs to stay home. Genuinely, there's so much in the world that's going to upset you. Stay at home. Extract whatever.
What would your approach be?
I don't know. It's a tough one because I think everyone has their views, but for me, I think if we want to eat, we just go and we eat. And this is a poor baby, defenseless baby who us as mothers it's our responsibility to feed them. So sorry if it's offending you in any way, but I'm not going to let my baby starve over your opinion.
And Anam, I'm quite interested to know how, because you're a Muslim woman, how's breastfeeding, how's that affected your faith?
It's not affected. Our mother-in-law, they said yes, it's good for the children, but sometimes some mother-in-law, they force, if the woman condition is worst, they give to the baby milk, but if the mother trying to give to another top feed, so they said no, you just must give to your breastfeed because it's healthy for the baby. So they said good.
And that's the most important thing at the end of the day, isn't it? What's right for you and your family and your kids. So we've discussed a bit about breastfeeding in public, and we've seen the benefits of breastfeeding, but do you know anything about milk banks, what their purpose is and why they exist?
I don't know that much about
Leicester University to the biggest milk bank in the country. Meet Jackie Hughes, the Northwest Human Milk Bank Strategy Manager. She allowed us into her space to find out all we can about milk banks. Jackie and her team recruit over 20,000 mothers and provide donor milk to over 70 hospitals since they launched in 2014 across England, Wales and Ireland.
Once we've got that paperwork back, then we will recruit them and we'll send them out their bottles, as I showed you before, in those boxes, and they can start pumping straight away.
The bottles of milk are placed into metal baskets and put into their pasteurizers. Milk is pasteurized at 62.5 degrees for 30 minutes. The pasteurizer then rapidly cools the milk to 4 degrees. Once that process is finished, the milk is then placed into freezers and are ready to be sent to the hospitals.
So every bottle that comes in for the mums is labelled, and we check that when we receive the milk. Because if you haven't got a labelled bottle, you have to discard it. And also it needs the date on that the milk's pasteurised as well.
Jackie gives us her final thoughts and has an important message for all mothers.
I'd love all parents to know that if they have a vulnerable baby that might be entitled to donor milk, then it's their right to ask for it.
For more information on becoming a donor or volunteer, head over to www.northwesthumanmilkbank.org.uk.
Sorry, we cut off there a bit prematurely, but now you've seen about the milk banks. What are your thoughts on that?
I didn't know about the milk bank.
No?
Yeah.
Have you learned a bit just there? I learned more about them too. I mean, I've heard of them, but I hadn't known exactly what they did. But I think it's a great idea because I think we're so at the moment we are so tuned to drinking cow's milk that we see that as so normal, and this idea of drinking another human's milk is so weird. And actually, that is when you hear that out loud, it's like, why are you thinking it's more okay to give something from a cow than it is to give it from a human? And, I just don't get that.
I think it's really good.
And would you donate your milk if you could?
I don't think I have the patience to sit there. I think when I was breastfeeding my kids, it was either from my boob or not at all.
You did have to.
But it's a good idea.
Yeah, I definitely would. I think if you've got enough milk and you're able to give it, then that'd be a great idea.
How about you, Rhea? Would you?
I think I had enough. I mean, I had quite small containers and very hungry children, so I was constantly spurting. I needed like 4 of your T-shirts in my bag to change it throughout the day. So I definitely would. There was a breast milk ice cream shop in Covent Garden for a while, so I think we need to let those women know that there's an alternative to donate to.
So we've got a little VT. We're going to see how people in the public thought about milk banks.
How do you feel about milk banks? Have you heard of them before?
Yeah, I've donated to a milk bank.
Really?
Yeah.
And how was that experience?
Oh, it was fine. I just pump the milk, give it away. People need it. I didn't, so.
A bit old and past it, all that, but yes, I would have done. But I didn't have enough milk to feed my own children.
So would you have considered going to a milk bank if it was an option?
Gosh, it certainly wasn't an option in my day.
Yeah, I'd do it. I've got big breasts. They're full of milk. Yeah, I'd do it. No, it's personal. Nothing wrong with breastfeeding your own child, but no one else's.
So there's quite a bit of information there. Obviously, we heard the lady at the end. She said that she thought it was okay. You know, your own babies, but not necessarily other people's babies. Now, how would you feel about somebody else's milk going to your kids?
I don't mind somebody else's milk coming to my kids because I think there's so many benefits from breastfeeding. But what I probably couldn't do is sit next to someone breastfeeding my child. So I think with the milk bank, it's kind of not too personal.
It's quite personal.
Yeah.
The skin on skin.
Exactly.
When you're thinking about the actual, like the nutrients.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. I think it's because I think with breast milk, it's so good. I mean, some people's breast milks even change colour to suit what the baby needs. So if the baby has a cold, the milk can turn slightly greener, and it has the right thing to support that. So I think there's just so many benefits that if your baby needs it and wants it, and you can't provide it, then a milk bank makes sense.
And how would you feel about it?
I want to discuss with you one more thing. My cousin, when she is small, and my auntie, she going to the shopping. So my mother was there, and she's hungry. My cousin, she's hungry. So my mother, she's feed to my cousin. So when we are big, so my mother then discussed, she said, oh, I feed to this baby, and she's your like a sister because she drink my milk.
Oh. I see. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, it's just about the baby and what they need, isn't it? So, yeah. What about you? How do you feel about it? Fine?
Yeah, well, I'd be, if needed, if I had a child in, intensive care and I wasn't able to give them milk and there was an option of using milk from Milk Bank, I'd definitely go for that. I do agree. I think I would find it hard to watch somebody else breastfeed my baby just because of the bonding experience. And that's part of the reason I love breastfeeding is because of that bond. So I would find it hard to watch somebody else having that with my child. But, at the end of the day, as you said earlier, the child's the most important thing. And if I was at a stage where I couldn't breastfeed them, they needed to feed straight away, and there was a woman right there that could feed them, and that was the best option, then in that circumstance, I would do it. Yeah, definitely.
What about you, Ria?
Agreed. Yeah, I think let's make it law. Do it. Good. Done. No, it's a sliding scale, but your own breast milk is best for your baby, but we're talking about vulnerable children.
Absolutely.
So it's a sliding scale. If it's a choice between breast milk and formula when they're possibly premature or they're in a vulnerable, you give them what's best. It's priorities.
So ladies, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us. You've been absolutely brilliant, and once again, thank you for sharing your opinions and your experiences. Can we give it up for our guests, please? Lauren, Anam, Hannah and Ria. I'm sure there is a few more mums out there who have found this really helpful. It's all about talking, isn't it? And that's exactly what Mum's the Word is about, the chance of giving mums the mic and showing that there's no right or wrong way to parent. Because at the end of the day, we are all just winging it, really, aren't we? So we hope you enjoyed today's show, and if you want to know more about what we've discussed, head over to our website, mumsthewordtv.co.uk for more information. Well, that's all from us today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.